Streaming live across the globe to nerds around the nation. Everything Noob starts now.
Hello, welcome to episode 20 of the Everything Noob podcast. I am Vortak.
I'm Lido.
Wow, and...
No co-hosts, Jemmy.
The what?
No co-hosts tonight, Jemmy.
Wow.
That's what.
It's awesome.
Fair enough. So, tonight, this is the first time we're not going live. It's kind of quiet, kind of lonely.
Yeah.
Well...
We're recording it a little bit later than usual, but we will be live next Monday. We always film it live on twitch.tv/enoobs.
Well, not always now.
Well, not always, but generally.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So, tonight we're talking about a very controversial topic. We can't really get away with it, and for the past few weeks now we've been talking about SimCity, which, personally,
Yeah.
I like to make sure the shows vary and they're different, so it doesn't sound like people are listening to the same thing. But tonight we kind of need to address all the drama behind SimCity. So tonight is gaming logistics. We're going to start talking about DRM and go from there. We have a lot to say. So, starting with Amy. On the spotlight, go.
You're going to ask me to roll into the SimCity of where we're going? The person who doesn't know anything about SimCity and then doesn't... like, all I know, it was bad. Everyone was mad.
All I saw in the tweets from everybody that I knew was all about this, this Origin fiasco. The whole thing crashing.
It was more than just Origin. It was the SimCity server.
30-minute waits. Yeah, 30-minute waits.
30 minutes? Like, some people couldn't play at all.
Yeah, it would give you a countdown timer from 20 minutes or 30 minutes sometimes, depending. It would say, try again in 20 minutes. It wasn't even like, you'll play in 20 minutes.
Oh, it was a try again. So if you tried again, then it would give you another 30 minutes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so this was all in the past now because they've kind of fixed that. But let's kind of talk about real quick for people like Amy who don't play SimCity for whatever reason, what we're talking about. Similar to Diablo 3, SimCity decided to do an online-only game for a game that's usually single-player.
No, it is single-player. I know they added multiplayer features, but really, that's a single-player game.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, but even though it's single-player, you still have to be online. Cannot play it offline.
Constantly. You lose connection, they boot you from the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
crashes the whole thing.
And if they lose connection, if their server disconnects while you're playing, everything you do from that point, if the servers don't come back, is lost. There's no cache in your computer. There's nothing that saves in your computer and holds it for you. It's gone. And that happened to me. I lost a couple good hours of city building,
wow.
And I thought the server was going to come back, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep playing. I haven't gotten to play this all day, and because the server had been going off and on all day, it didn't come back, and then the game crashed. So lost a couple hours. Now all those problems are fixed at this point. They've added a lot more servers, and now today finally they made the original servers bigger. They've optimized them and expanded them. But we're still without the features that they took away from us. The main one that everyone's upset about is the cheetah speed.
They took that out. Oh, wow.
The thing that I see most of the comments complain about is the fact that the map sizes are the size of a medium map on, like, previous games.
Yeah.
Like, the cities are very tiny, and you cannot go outside the bounds.
That's something they actually addressed, too. They said that in the future they plan on giving you size options and bigger plots. But that wasn't something... I don't even think they anticipated people complaining about that. And that was a small complaint for me. That was actually the only complaint about the gameplay I could find. But they took away cheetah mode, which we had in the first couple days of gameplay. And they realized, well, we need to get people on these servers, so let's try to, calm them down a little bit.
Wow.
So they took away cheetah speed... And that changed the whole dynamic of the game. People have since lowered their ratings of the game. One rating person, not person, but blog that I saw brought it down from an 8 to a 4. out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, they just said, sorry, this isn't even the same game anymore, so for now you get 4. Whoa.
Well, wasn't it, is it Origin or EA that said that they were going to offer, up to March 18th, I believe, they were going to offer a free game to those who had trouble.
Yeah, on the 18th,
Trouble
everyone who bought SimCity gets a free game. All we know about the free game is that you get a choice of what the game is. But
Probably nothing you want.
Probably nothing you want because it's going to be an EA game. It's going to be on Origin, which, yay, yippee.
Great! I get another game that is going to be riddled with problems.
If Sims 3 is on there,
I have
it would
Sims
be.
3.
I know you do, but I mean, there's a lot of people that might not have Sims 3. That would be. I would suggest if they don't have Sims 3 and it's one of the offers, take that as a free game because it's really good.
Yeah, really good game.
But I don't know what they're going to offer.
If they offer any Battlefield, I might get that. Honestly,
I was going to say Battlefield might be a worthy choice, but I mean, the last Battlefield game has been out over a year now, at least the last big release that I knew about, Battlefield 3.
I mean, they might. Battlefield 2142 look kind of cool. Any of the Battlefields. I haven't played Battlefield since Battlefield 1942, and I just never got into it because at the time I didn't like PC games very much. So I just kind of played my console games and left it at that. But Battlefield is one that I would recommend as well. So there's some games that they'll offer that I might get.
That's if they offer these games.
They may offer it.
Well,
they might offer their
What
crap.
can they offer? Because they said you get a choice, and they said it has to be an EA game. So,
SimCity Classic.
Let me look at the Origin games, and I'll tell you what your choices are gonna be.
Windows 98 version of SimCity.
And that was a good game.
Yeah, it was. That was the best.
Probably
I did a blog about that the other day.
Hold on.
But the whole thing is and I think I said it before, where if they're going to do this DRM thing, okay, why not have it?
Blech.
No, the first one, no.
No, sorry, blech.
Probably Far Cry.
Far Cry would be cool.
That's an EA game?
First Far Cry.
Yeah.
Well, they have Far Cry 3 on here.
On Origin. It's on Origin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have Far Cry 3, actually, but not with Origin. But
before we get to Lito, what Lito was saying, can I point something out? All these people who are sitting there telling us, "Oh, I'm never
gonna."
And
the Littlest Pet Shop.
And what?
And the Littlest Pet Shop. Those are your choices.
That's the one. Let's get it.
That's the one. Oh no, wait, no, sorry. They'll probably put a sports game in there. So pick your sports game that you probably don't want, and that's the one.
Is EA do Madden?
I hate Madden. Yeah. Anyway, before we get into what Lito was saying about DRM, so pin that. All these people on forums, about 90% of the comments I read of irate people who couldn't play SimCity said, "I will never buy an EA game again." Some of them said, "I'll never buy a game off Origin," which that's me. I'm not going to buy a game off Origin. I might buy an EA game, but it's going to be at Walmart while I still can, before they take those off the shelves and it's only on digital, but that's another discussion.
You can still order it through Amazon.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can order it through Amazon. Anything that gives me a hard copy of the game or it's not a digital download from Origin, that I'm okay with, because Origin does not give you refunds. And people knew that going in. They bought it anyway, and then they demanded a refund. And all this high and mighty BS about people demanding a refund. And I agree, they should give you something. One guy messed up on Origin side and said, "Well, if you want a refund, we'll give you a refund." And then they had to issue a few because that guy messed up, and then they retracted it.
I was gonna say Steam doesn't actually technically give refunds, but for disasters, they've been known to just give refunds.
They did pretty well.
It's not their policy, but they will do it.
My dad had trouble with Steam, and he had trouble with Origin too. Origin gave him a $50 coupon. Steam actually offered to give him his money back and just let him keep the game that wasn't working. We've since gotten it to work, but they took care of us. They were pretty good about it, even though any digital download pretty much doesn't have a return policy because they haven't figured out, quote unquote, how to get the game back from you. Which
if it doesn't work, like you're just
well,
gonna
they don't know
uninstall
that.
it.
The thing is,
say that you could be like, it doesn't work, and they'll be like, well, here's your money, and then you have a game.
But a lot of times it says you're like playing that game. So
with SimCity, they could have done that since it's an online game only. They could just block that.
null and
course.
void
If
that.
they give you a refund, null and void
Well,
that key code.
what happens if you want to go buy it at Walmart though, and you still have the same Origin account? Oh, that key code you're saying for the
Yeah,
key
you
code.
have a key code. They just disregard the key code, and then you can't log in. You're stuck. You don't
Of
have
course.
the game on your account.
There's ways
It's
to
the
do
same
it.
thing with Steam, you know.
Yeah, there's ways to do it, but they don't offer refunds. All these people got so irate they're saying they're going to boycott EA, and the problem with that is no one's going to stick to it. If people actually did, we might get somewhere as a gaming community, but
Oh, there are
they'll
games
never
I
stick to
buy
it.
that I don't even know are EA. So
oh, yeah, I know.
You know,
They own a lot of things. I didn't know Far Cry was EA until you said that. I'm like, oh yeah, it's on Origin.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that.
There's a lot of amazing games that unfortunately EA has their fingers in, and they did a smart thing when they bought Maxis, because I love Maxis. I think they've made fantastic sim games. I would not play a Maxis clone like what was it, Cities XL or anything. I don't care how good it is.
Cities, yeah.
It's not made by them. The Sims is more than just Sim City. It's the little characters that babble at you. It's the simoleons. It's the culture of they take the Sims and then they format the Sims in different things, and it's so cool.
Yeah,
So
I like that too.
Yeah, that's my feeling of it. I don't want to play clones of Sim City.
Yeah, but what I was saying is if they're trying to do this DRM thing, I think the best way I think they should do it is, I mean, like Minecraft. I'm bringing up Minecraft. It's not EA or anything, but you log in, right?
Mm-hmm.
It authenticates you, and then it allows you to play the game.
Amy was saying that the other day, actually.
Yeah, and then as soon as you're authenticated, there's no reason to have anything running in the background. You just play your game, and when you're done, it breaks that connection, and then the next time you log in, same thing. It'll authenticate you. It says, yeah, you own a copy of that. Good, you can play. You got an account. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
That way too,
I make my own server. Yeah, I make my own server for Minecraft where I play on my own. I can play Minecraft on an airplane. And
even if they did a handshake for every time you were connecting to a multiplayer server, that still wouldn't overload servers.
Exactly. It'd be quick.
Yeah, it just authenticates and then that's it. And then when you restart the game, it's going to try to re-authenticate you again. So you got to have somewhat of an online connection so that you can authenticate. Once you're done authenticating, then you're good to go. But you're basically
there's
offline.
Still an offline mode. There's still an offline mode for Minecraft too.
If they did that with SimCity, if they just put just an offline button, you just click it and you can play offline. Okay, all the servers are okay. Well,
that's what people were demanding too. They said
play offline.
They started petitions. They said we want an offline mode for this game. They weren't going to do it. They're still probably not going to. And someone on like the lead manager of their, I don't know, maybe their media department, some woman took over their Twitter account for a day or a few hours and was answering questions live. And someone had asked, when the servers get shut down X amount of years from now, are you going to offer a patch that gives us offline? And she said, we have no intention of making this game offline. However, if that's what it takes in the future, it's something we'll consider. Meaning, that's a good point. In the future, we don't care if it gets pirated, so we very well might offer a patch, which is good because you paid $60 for it. You damn well should be able to play it in the future.
Yeah, you should be able to play it as long as you have a PC that will run it.
Well, I hate to say it. I hate to break it to everybody, but I've already seen, and these could be hacks. These could be hackers trying to get information from you, but then again, it could also be a legitimate hack. I've already seen videos. I've already seen, well, what I mean by legitimate hack is it's not a phishing hack. People have already made hacked copies of SimCity already.
Oh yeah, that's every game. Within 24 hours, there is a cracked pirated version up for download on some torrent site or wherever.
So guess who gets to play SimCity?
everybody who went and got the cracked version.
Exactly.
You know,
Guess who's having a
and
good
here's
time
the
on
thing.
SimCity? The
So the
pirate.
people,
Less-
the good people, the paying customers that bought the game
Get screwed.
can't even play the game,
Yep.
but the people who hacked it and cracked it are able to play it anytime they want. Offline.
So now all these people who were honest and paid $60 to buy the game are now encouraged to go pirate it. It's
Yeah, true.
It's bass
probably
backwards.
bad. It's probably
It really is. Because they can't. They finally got the servers up. Fair enough. But in the first few days, when you played, you get a taste of it, and then the server crashes. That drives you nuts. You're like, no, I need to play this now. What the hell? They're gonna go look on their torrent sites, and they're gonna go find it, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but they've already bought it, though. So, like, they don't care if you pirate it after you've bought a copy. They care about people who are pirating it that haven't bought one.
But it supports and condones pirating, and that's the opposite of what people want. They want
They're
pirating
actually-
to go away.
they're actually creating they're actually forcing people to buy a pirated version of the game, which is something they're trying to avoid.
And what happens
And I
if
think
I
that
bought
they-
it at Walmart, it doesn't work, and then I get a pirated version and return it at Walmart?
Yeah.
I mean, screw it. I don't even want to play online. I don't have friends. I'm just going to pirate it, And I don't have the luxury. But
Let's get this straight right now. We're not condoning
no,
going out and pirating these games.
not at all.
Really, the developers
'Cause
who
we're
are
not Jimmy.
actually separate are actually separate
Oh, yeah,
from.
because I'm just like, go pirate all your stuff. Don't buy it.
No, the developers who are actually kind of separate from the actual producers or publishers of the content, because I don't think that they're it work for EA. EA is just a publishing company, right?
Yes.
Maybe there's some, So these people worked really hard for this game, and I've seen some comments made by some of the developers of SimCity, and they just want people to be able to play. They want you to be able to play and see, the game that they actually envisioned and what they built for people to play. It's EA's problem with the servers and not being able to log in and all that stuff. They had to sign a contract with them, and that's what you're stuck with. But yeah, they get paid, based on their development, and for pirating, you're taken away from them. You are taken away from the publishers too, which would probably put them in their spot, but the developers are the ones, they're the ones that worked really hard to make this game.
No, and they
didn't
deserve
want
it.
it to fail.
They absolutely deserve it, and I don't. That's why I don't pirate things, because I believe people.
No, I don't either.
Developing entertainment is still work.
I give you an example.
It's a
Minecraft.
lot of work.
You know the Minecraft movie?
I still haven't seen
Which
that.
one?
Yeah,
I know what
it's
he's talking.
the
It's like a documentary.
The documentary on Minecraft.
Okay.
As soon as it was released to the public, the Mojang team put it out on Pirate Bay as a torrent for free download, and said, "I know this is going to happen anyway, but we want to be the first ones to do it. So here's the movie in its full. If you would like to support this movie and want to pay for it, then here's the address."
Oh, Mojang probably
And
donated.
it was
some
tweeted.
stuff, too.
It was, or maybe it's not Mojang. It was the guys
Notch,
that
I
made
think.
it. Whoever.
Didn't
Or
Notch?
one of them, somebody.
Someone,
Notch said something.
someone who was allowed to did it, and I think that's so humble of them because
That is totally humble. I bought it. I paid for it. When I saw that tweet, I says, "No, I am not going to do that to you guys. Not, because it's there. I could have done it, and I could have gotten it for free. But because of what you just did, makes me want to support you even more. Makes me want to give you the money for doing this because, I don't know. I felt, even though they offered it for free, I still paid for it, and it was cheap. It's not real expensive.
Notch and Mojang, and they get why people pirate, and that's because it's not widely available. It's not, people pirate if it's not widely available. It's not cheap, and if it's not working, so they'll download a working copy because somebody will fix it.
Yeah.
And they get it. Like, if you offer it for free and then just be like, if you really liked it and you want to see more, please donate. Like, that works. People will pay for things they love.
Right. Yep. So, anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that
Look at Kickstarter.
pirating.
Oh,
They don't
that's
really
a thing.
get anything physical for the initial investment, and people throw money at that.
oh yeah, it's people don't have these big companies don't trust the internet, but they thrive off it at the same time, and
They don't
it needs to stop. It really does. There's no reason to alienate the people who have been around. People in their, like I've been telling people in their 50s and over remember SimCity when they were playing SimCity 2000 or whatever in the 90s. Like, that was a great game. You know, they made a new one. That's great. These are the people who, these are longtime customers, and then you got the new generation of gamers. So now you've like doubled your audience. I think there's way more people now.
Right. I look at it this way. EA is a very successful company, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Before they went through this whole Origin EA fiasco thing, right? They were selling games straight, just like pretty much everybody else is, except for a lot of them are starting to go that way. And they've become successful. Obviously, they're not hurting financially from some of these people who supposedly pirate their game. So
all
why
of them,
are they
apparently
forcing? Yeah, why are they doing this? Why are they working so hard to keep
Greedy CEOs
you know,
who need a higher paycheck.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? I mean, okay, so
They've kind of lost sight of the big picture.
Yeah, they think that the people who are pirating the games are going to pay for the game. They're not.
No,
those
the people who are intent
game.
on pirating it and not as like pirating as a demo. Yeah.
So they're going to get the same amount of money. They're going to get the same amount of money from the same amount of customers who actually pay for the game than before. Well, the only difference is we can't play it, but the pirates can.
And that sucks too. That's just like the music thing. When I was the only person I knew that bought my music, all my friends would pirate their music, and then I was the one who couldn't share it with anyone, and that drove me nuts. And I'll give you a kind of an off-topic but similar analogy to the whole what you were just saying about EA being greedy and big CEOs. Unfortunately, this is what big business has come to. It's all about money. So where I work, my manager, or maybe it's the people above him, have taken a total sales route at the radio station, and they've since fired people who are supporting their families. You know, they're working hard to support their families in this radio station. They fired them and outsourced their jobs not to India or anything, but just to the corporate level, and they've made my job difficult. And at the same time, they get their bottom dollar. They get more money, and meanwhile, the rest of the radio station, the part that's actually making the money, the radio, is suffering. While all the salespeople sit back and go out to Outback Steakhouse and spend the corporate account on trying to sell stuff to clients. That's just business now, and it's terrible. It's miserable.
That's where the banks are going too. I mean, my nephew worked at Wells Fargo. This is not a plug, by the way. Anyway, he worked for this bank.
You should say Fells Wargo.
You should have said some nameless big bank.
Fells Wargo.
It's sad. It's sad because this bank has been in
horse and carriage,
Old West, and so you get an account with them, and literally every time you make a transaction or do anything, they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you life insurance, or they're trying to sell you some of their whatever they have. They've got all kinds of different offers and stuff, and it's all it is. And I get emails. I mean, I'm getting spam from them. I get mail in the mail. I get all kinds of stuff, and God forbid I walk into the bank, because that's a whole other ball game. They're trying to sell you all kinds of stuff when all you want to do is deposit your check. Would you like to try our life insurance today?
A place to sell me anything unless it's an upgrade to my banking account.
Jane, would you like a home loan today?
Here's a question. I wonder if we're having all these problems and difficulties because of, like, maybe not overpopulation, but everyone wants to have their own business, right? The dream is to work for yourself. Well, now, population, since people have come to America, has exploded. Mm-hmm. And all these people are trying to start their own businesses. Therefore, they want advertising. So they're going out and they're going everywhere they can to buy advertising. And now YouTube is a format for advertising. So YouTube is getting greedy. Everything all around you is revolving around greed. And the greed is coming from people paying for advertising. Do you think maybe that's the problem?
Yeah.
All of this just stems back to people just trying to grow their own business, do their own thing? I mean,
It's possible, but I mean, you get these companies that are already big and they're doing it.
well, EA.
There's no reason for them.
Maybe this is kind of off topic then, because like EA isn't. I guess they're not advertising anyone.
It's kind of good for, like, for instance, when you get like an app for your Android phone and it's got little advertisements in there. That's just the developer trying to make money off of the advertisers. It could be that's the reason why the banks do what they do, is because they're trying to make a little bit of money off of, because the banks don't really make a profit, so to speak, because they're really not a business. Well, they are a business, but they're more of a service than anything to the country, because they're, it's where you put your money.
Well, it's
the
supposed
Federal
to be
Reserve,
service.
Whatever.
But
And,
they've turned it into for profit for
turned it into
the
a
board.
profit.
Yep. Well,
Right. So,
okay, so I'll relate this to gaming, because Lito and I were talking before the podcast about Worm Online, and how we've started developing our own town. So when he introduced me to Worm Online, I moved into his town, and then I started to like it. So I'm like, oh, I can make my own town with all the people who play on the Vortec Vids community. So I made my own town, and then I kind of lost interest in the game. SimCity came out, so since then, the people I started a town with are now going and spreading out, making their own towns. And Lito had people move into his town. Now they've all moved out and made their own towns. And
yeah, which is cool. I like the
cool.
fact that people are expanding and building and making Worm Online a great thing. But
here's
if
the
everybody
problem.
does it,
If everyone does it, yeah, no one's going to have a town. Everyone's just going to have a big piece of property with a bunch of empty houses on it. And and then no one wants to be under anyone. So when you play a video game, you want to be in charge of something. You know, human nature says you want to be, oh, no, I'm the boss. I'm the guy who's the boss. So some people,
For me, I would rather just be a part of something than do it all myself.
But there's a lot of people out there who have that leadership head on them. Like I want to be a leader of something. I want to own.
But
something
I remember
that's mine.
in school, for me, we had band class, and the teacher lectured in a nice way. We had too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and some people just kind of needed to learn how to be an Indian, because that's the true skill.
Yes.
It's easy to be a leader, especially if you have leadership qualities, but it's harder to be just the guy who's the teamwork guy, and to do your job and not expect anything more than just group effort.
Well, this happened to Basher too.
Yeah.
When he was in Worm Online, people started leaving and doing their own thing. This happened to Griffith and Farron, who do the factional fight videos for Worm Online. Same thing. A couple people wanted to do their own thing. So, I mean, I was talking to Farron about it in chat, and it's something that helps grow the community of Worm. Is when we have. The thing is, free players. That would be the key place for them to go is villages.
Yes.
They can join a village and be a part of it, and they can do whatever they want. We can, the person can plan a house and stuff like that. And so, those are things that I think are awesome. The problem is, because of Worm Online and the way it blocks you from increasing your skills and things like that, it makes the new players quit.
And so tapping?
You end up.
Yeah, it's my cat knocking on the door.
Where is this tapping coming from?
And my cat's really upset that I've locked her out this evening.
He knocks on the door.
The cat will open the door, apparently.
She puts her paw under the door and just kind of rattles it, and I can hear her mewing softly. She's very lonely out in the hall.
Oh, I love cats.
Well, you can let her
Okay,
in.
so anyway. Worm Online is now they're starting to have some weird balance issues with that, because I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of people starting their own villages but don't have any villagers.
Well, exactly, and you can relate that to YouTube as well as a whole. You start out as a viewer on YouTube, and then way too many people want to be the person behind the camera, or in front of the camera rather, and that's great for YouTube, but for them, they sit there and scratch their heads, why is no one watching me? And it's because they're not the first person to think, oh, I want to be just like Ray William Johnson, so I'm going to, stand in front of a camera and make jokes about things. There's only so many, unfortunately, there might be plenty of pie and plenty of room to go around, and I'm not saying nobody can't get big on YouTube or no one can make a successful town and worm online, but not everyone can, because that's not possible. That's just physically not possible. You can't have a town if everyone in the world is also a leader of a town, because they're in their own town. They don't care about your town.
Yeah.
So it just kind of sucks. Like,
I was happy. No, seriously, I was. One of the things that I wanted to see is I want to see more people on Worms. So, when you said you wanted to have your own thing, your own town, I was freaking happy for you. I thought that was really awesome. I thought, oh, cool, he's gonna have his own town. That means he's gonna be on more on, whatever. I haven't been on there in 3 days or whatever. But I mean, you get to where you want to go on, and you go on for a while, for a couple days, and then you get off, and you can stay off for a while. But anyway, and then Boombody, he's got his own thing going now, and I was happy for him too. I think it's cool, but the whole point of villages is to have villagers and have a community there.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do right now.
Here's how we can tie this all back in, because you just said something else that reminded me.
Oh.
When you have a community, right, and you want them to prevent them from going and making their own towns. If after a while you're like, oh, we have like 100 people in this town, if they all make their own towns, we won't have anyone, and then they'll join together and do their own thing. So what you do as a leader is you make ranks under you, and you're like, okay, so you give people something to work for. They want to climb up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
Like, in a sense. So
well, that's a whole diplomatic thing that they have in Worm Online. To vote out a mayor if they wanted to.
Yeah, well, there's diplomacy like that. But I'm saying, Worm Online has those options.
Well.
Not everyone takes advantage of them. They just make their own town, and then they're the leader, no one else. But in order to give people a reason to stick around, you have to give them something to work for, something to, I really want to be, second in command here, because then they don't have the responsibility of running the whole town by themselves, but they're still in charge of somebody. They still have a sense of entitlement and a strong presence about them. So that's just how, I don't know, maybe I lost it. EA started out as just like anyone else started out, and then they want people. Everyone else had game companies around them, and like, well, we want to be bigger. What can we do? So they went out and started buying other game companies, and thus you have a great company like Maxis, owned by EA, and now Maxis is suffering for things they don't even have control of, and they've tried to own it too. They sat there and tried to own it on Twitter, like, no, this is all on us. People are like, no, this is EA's servers, this is Origin, this isn't your fault at all. But we understand you're the ones that have to do all the work, and that sucks. Some people understood anyway. Some people were just assholes all around. But
no, the problem's EA and Origin, and if you try to say it's Maxis, I'm like, maybe the coding was on Maxis' end, but they had to work with what EA gave them to work with. So it's all EA and Maxis.
It's
It's
weird.
EA and Origin, sorry.
Yeah. Monopolies are against the law in this country, yet I see almost monopolies happening. You know what I mean?
Well,
which is scary.
You make a monopoly right up to the requirement of what counts as a monopoly. So
yeah.
You buy out all the small companies you can.
It's like, and then there's the destructive way to go about it, where you don't buy anyone. You're just Walmart, and you come in and you offer low everyday prices, and then you run everyone else out in town out of business because you're.
And then you're a monopoly, but there's nobody to compete, and we're not buying anybody, and
So they're not a monopoly, but they've capitalized.
They've made it.
Yeah.
They've indirectly made it a monopoly system for themselves.
And no one's going to do anything about that.
Because they can't, because you can't compete with those prices.
I can. I'll start my own Walmart.
Oh, God.
Well, I think they get away with it, too, because aren't they considered franchises?
Franchises, yeah, but franchises are still one company.
Still one big company.
And then the franchise runs everyone else around them out of business, but,
right.
That's just how things work. So EA is I guess my whole point now is that EA is too big for you to boycott them, because they appeal to pretty much every niche of the gaming industry.
Yep.
They offer something for everyone.
No, I could easily boycott EA without a problem, because I looked at their list of games, and The Sims are really the only ones I'm interested in.
But you're interested in something.
But, like, I'm not going to be heartbroken to say goodbye to it. Like, that's just it. Like, I play it, but I never get it on release day. In fact, I probably never even get it the year it released. And I never even buy more than 1 or 2 expansion packs for it. So, like, I haven't even bought the third one yet. Not even the base game.
I'm sure you're not the only one who feels that way, and it took me forever to get Sims 3. Yeah, I was happy with Sims 2. But the point is, they've made something you like, and that's all I was saying. So,
yeah,
all these people who are high and mighty, and like, these are the people who've been playing SimCity forever. These are the people who've been playing The Sims forever, and they're all sitting on their high horse, like, I'm never going to buy an EA game again. Like, haven't you spent a lot of your childhood playing EA games? Don't think it's going to work for you. Sorry.
I mean, honestly, the best thing to do is, if you can't really boycott EA, don't buy it within the first few months of release. That's when they're going to make their most money, and you can actually get a good, honest review from other players if the game's worth its salt. So you're not giving them money for a crappy game. Because, like, they don't care after initial sales. They really don't. Because as long as it paid for the game and got into the black, they could care. The rest is just icing on the cake.
Yeah. Very true.
They do not care if it's a bad game or not, as long as they make their money back for it.
And that's another thing, too. That sucks. Because a lot of people are saying, well, you got our money and we don't get to play a game, so I guess you win. There's no return policy.
Exactly.
And they're not going to, there'd be a class action lawsuit against them if they actually stuck with that. They're like, yeah, you're right, we're not even going to try to fix it. Well,
they have to offer a functioning product, but they don't have to make it a good functioning product.
But it is. I'll say this about SimCity, it is. It's fantastic when it works. The map size is the only complaint I have.
I've been watching videos. It looks like a really cool game. I've been playing SimCity 4, and I enjoy SimCity 4. I think SimCity 4 was one of the greats. I don't have to log into Origin. I don't have to do anything. The graphics are really good. I mean, not excellent like SimCity 2013, but
Origin's enough to make me boycott any EA game. It has nothing to do with SimCity. Like, the last time I used it.
I can still send aliens. I can send aliens. I can make volcanoes. I can destroy. That reminds me, Roller Coaster Tycoon. For the heck of it, I was sitting there and I was trying to figure out the game. I didn't want to go through the tutorial, so I put it all through, and just for the fun of it, I started spawning all these lions and stuff in the park.
Is this Zoo Tycoon you're talking about?
No, this is
must be an expansion.
Roller Coaster Tycoon. No, 3? You know how you can make panda bears and you can put like a little.
Yeah. You can. Yeah.
Well, I started spawning them just in the park, and when I did, all these lions were like running after the people in the game, and they were jumping over the fence. It was freaking hilarious. I wish I would have recorded it. I didn't think that would happen, I just wanted to, see what would happen. And so I said, heck, I spent all my money spawning all these orangutans and just everything, and it just like all of them were just chasing all the customers. It was funny. But anyway,
I love games like that.
Yeah. So it's funny that they coded that in there, but I just, the thing is back to the DRM thing. I just wish that they'd have it some way where you don't have to play online, because that was the big issue. And I've been noticing a lot of people's comments and forums and stuff. That was what they want EA to change, was make it so you can play it offline. Who cares about everything else? A lot of people are even saying, I don't even care about the free game. Just make it so I can play it offline.
I'm right there with them in the sense that some people even said, I'll pay you more money to get an offline version. Seriously, I will. And I'm like, I will too. But is this really something, and I got caught up in it too, it happens to the best of us. Is it really something to get that worked up over? You're playing the game at the end of the day when they fix the servers. Cool your tits and just play it and stop trying to be on your high horse.
I mean, it's a good game. It's definitely worth the money. because of the way that, I mean, the gameplay is incredibly, it's awesome. I haven't actually physically played it myself, but I've seen videos and I've watched live streams, and it's an awesome looking game. I mean, it's got everything you need. But as far as the Origin thing, that's the only thing that I don't even think is it Origin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to go through Origin.
You have to go through Origin, but
Laney, you looked like you were going to say something.
Oh, well, the people who are offering to pay more money for an offline mode, no. Don't say you're going to pay EA more money for functions that should be included in the game, because they're already notorious for nickel and diming you for features you should have gotten.
Hey, if it makes them realize that I'm not here to pirate your game, I'm just a customer. I don't know. It's not ideal, but it's there. Like, oh, hey, if you have an offline mode that I can play on an airplane or wherever I'm going, please, if it makes you feel better, EA, here's some more money. I'll throw money at it to get my offline version. Some people said that it's not ideal, it's not smart, it's the exact opposite of boycotting. But if that was offered, at least it's there. You have the option.
Yeah, at least you have the option. That's like, how much is it worth to you at that point?
Yeah, I'd pay an extra $10-15 for it. I don't care. Like,
no, I would not. $5 maybe.
I'm saying they would put it up for $60.
Oh.
So
no, the base game would be $60, and then you'd probably be paying at least $10 more for an offline only.
It should be the opposite. It should be, hey, we have this game. It's completely offline. If you want online mode, you have to pay us extra. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Ooh, here's a question: how are they running their servers? If you only pay a one-time fee. I mean, I know they're rich, but that's usually a big.
That's what Origin is, though.
I don't pay monthly for Origin.
No, Origin's not hosting.
But they make
servers,
money off
though.
of it.
Oh yeah, Origin's just a store, really.
Yeah, it's just a store.
It's like Steam. They're not hosting. They're hosting. EA, Maxis, and EA are running the servers, and that's upkeep. You have to, you keep those online. That costs them a monthly fee. Why doesn't it cost us a monthly fee? That's a good.
Probably because these servers are used for other online games.
Ooh, maybe that's why they're having so much trouble.
Assassin's Creed, and they're probably not actually physical servers, because I saw how fast they were adding new servers, and I'm like, if that was a physical server going in, wouldn't have happened this fast.
Well,
they wouldn't have been able to get it that fast. So it's probably a virtual server, and they're pulling it from like other games that don't get as much traffic.
Right, because I heard or I saw a tweet from Notch or Jeb or somebody talking about SimCity, because obviously it's a big topic right now. Somebody had said something, like, oh, that's interesting, EA is using the Amazon servers, or something to that effect. And Amazon servers is like a rent-a-server.
Oh.
And so maybe that's what they do. They use the Amazon servers for their
they don't lease it as many when it just.
And they just. I think Minecraft.
I heard Amazon has really good rates if you want to rent a server, though.
Yeah, so
like their web space is really cheap.
So I'm thinking that's what the deal is. The tweet was either Jeb or Notch talking about it, how they were making, I don't know if it was being sarcastic or what they were saying, but they said, oh, EA has Amazon servers. So
speaking of Amazon, you guys probably knew this, but some of the listeners might not. They actually pulled SimCity from the digital store on Amazon. You could buy it physically, but they pulled it off the shelves because it got 860-something one-star reviews. And after that point, they're like, no more, no, and they took it off. And they'll put it back, I think, but they're waiting for everything to stabilize. It might even be back now because things have the dust has kind of settled. But yeah, many people were like leaving one-star reviews, and so Amazon's like, yoink.
I know on like Metacritic, there was tons of people just leaving zeros, and the overall user rating was like a 1.4.
Wow.
See, when I play SimCity 4, it's got an option. It's got an option button for online play. So I'm wondering. I haven't tried it yet. I'm wondering if that's for multiplayer or.
It might be for DLC or something too. The game's 10 years old though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine they have a real multiplayer mode.
But it does say the rating for mature, or teen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It has that. When you hover over the button, it says online gameplay may be different than single player gameplay, and does not have what they call it, ERLA, or what do they call that?
They're not going to rate your online experience basically,
Right.
because they
No
can't
rating
control
for
it.
Exactly. So why would they have that if it wasn't going to be? I have to look into that. That looks.
There
like
might be
that
a
seems
ranking
interesting.
system, or maybe you can race to build a city or something, but I know it's
A
not.
leaderboard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another thing they removed from SimCity currently, the leaderboards, which no one really gave a crap about, but you start
The
to...
interaction between the other cities, they removed that.
I found out...
Is that back?
I found out that's never gone away, but the reason I saw it, but what didn't see in the actual changelog, is because someone stated it. Hey, I can't interact with other cities. Is that something else you took away? So it became an assumption that yes, that's something they took away. It just wasn't working, and
Oh.
it started to now. Finally, it started to work in my other cities. I was able to
They
play
probably
again.
bugged it when they were pulling features.
Yeah, so it's working. But they have yet to bring back cheetah mode. I think they're waiting to bring it back until every single server is bigger, quote unquote, so they can handle the
Bigger and
100,000
stable,
people
yeah.
using. Because you use cheetah mode, 90% of the time you're using high speed because you're trying to get your money and you're trying to grow your city big, 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 big. So yeah, cheetah speed is something that gets used a lot, and I can see how that taxes the servers. But these are all things they said. Oh well, their whole excuse for this is, oh well, when we put it out for beta, it didn't get nearly this much traffic.
Well, they had complete control of how many people were in the beta, though.
And that's because the beta. I didn't even know there was a beta. My friends were playing it. I'm like, can I get in on that? They're like, actually, it's closed now. It was the gap to get in was this big, and then you had to pre-order it too. You have to take that number of people that were on beta and quadruple it at least to compete. But they just made the servers as big as the beta ones, or maybe a little bit bigger, and said, cool.
Well, yeah, and they should know by pre-sales how many people are going to be playing.
They said they did that. They said they knew that. I think people take pre-ordering a little too, literally. I think they thought everyone who pre-ordered was going to be their most of their sales. I pre-ordered the game the night before. Literally the night before, everyone's like, "Oh, if you pre-order it, you get this thing." I'm like, "Fine."
Oh yeah.
So, but normally I wait till a few days later and go to Walmart and pick it up because I don't pre-order games. I just don't. I don't know why I don't, because they're not going to sell out. Maybe I don't get paid at that time. I need that money. For whatever reason, I don't really pre-order games. And normally the bonuses they offer are stupid. Like the SimCity one gave you the heroes and villains thing, and it's actually pretty stupid. It's cool, but it's stupid at the same time. At first you're just like, oh, cool, I get a superhero in my city. But you have to coddle that thing so much. He won't do anything unless you send him out to do it. So first he has to rescue all these people who are sick. And you need to get him 2,500 renown, and he only gets 100 renown every time he goes out. And then it's so easy to forget about his ass. So you're playing, and you could have sent him out 10 more times, but you forgot. It's dumb. This is the lamest superhero ever. Why does he have the credibility of a superhero if he's done nothing yet to earn that? Why do I have to, why do I have to give him renown? He should come into my city like, hey, by the way, I have all these badass powers. You should put me in your city because I'm awesome. Hey, sure, no, I got to give you the powers? You're not a superhero. You're just some dude with a cool house. Screw you.
Yeah. Throw a tornado at him.
I know. Yeah.
Peace.
Some superhero you are. You can even stop a tornado.
How's that meteorite?
That's funny.
Don't want to close my eyes.
Those are fun too. I did that. I made a city in SimCity 4 and just destroyed it just for the fun of it. And then I didn't save it. I
haven't
didn't
Some
used
use it.
any
crappy
of the disaster
poster
buttons.
usually for pre-ordering.
Yeah, there was no crappy poster. There was just stupid heroes and villains thing. And
No, I'm just pre-orders in general. Yeah, it's really.
And the villain thing's kind of bugged too, because you get missions while you're playing, and the villain will come out of an industrial factory and say, hey, you should go to the evil side, and you can't say no to him. There's no X button. You have to wait till you accept it, and then you can click X. But I don't. No, I want my hero. He's awesome. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Well, here's something to think about because I know this.
It's not game breaking though, if you think about
Yeah,
it.
it's not.
What they do is they give you a pre-release bonus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you get that, you get the pre-release bonus. Now you have the game. Now, 6 months down the line, when they come out with a new game or something, they'll come up with the same game. It'll be considered like the deluxe version, and it'll have like 3 DLCs with it, and maybe even the original bonus that you got for a pre-release. So if you just wait 6 months, you can get much more, probably for less, because they'll offer it as a discount.
You can buy all
these
those
DLCs with it.
There was an $80 version of the game, and you can buy all those things now.
Yeah.
And it's only offered for a limited time, but they'll bring them back. They want their money.
They'll bring it all back.
And then they'll keep adding to it. SimCity's going to have plenty of expansions, just like The Sims, I bet you. And that's how they're going to fund these servers too. It's probably expansions, just like Guild Wars. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Guild Wars 2 expansion, even like surface a little. Yeah, that's kind of cool. The last one had an expansion
seen,
like a few days later.
Events talked about, but I haven't heard anything about an expansion pack. I know that they have said they're going to do them.
Maybe they're doing well in microtransactions.
They probably are doing okay on
Or they're going to make a good
microtransactions,
expansion pack.
But they still haven't feature completed the game from what they said they'd have at release anyway. Like there's still not the what is it? The friend pass where users from another server can kind of visit your server and explore without transferring. No, but you can transfer once every 7 days for free.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But
because
that will go away when they add the guest pass.
Okay, so that's
So
a
you
fair.
have to
See,
pay.
that's how you give someone a fair trade, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, people complained about it, or people said, "Hey, well, I can't even play on the same server as my friends." And what did they do? They says, "Okay, well, we need to fix this," and they fixed it. That's good.
They still
Now
want
EA learned from that. Yeah, well, that's in the future because they're giving everybody a chance now. Okay, well, everybody move to the servers you want to go to. Get that all over with, and then eventually they're going to start offering this service.
Yeah, and then they can make money off of server transfers. So.
But in buying the game, not everybody could get the game right away, so everybody that wanted to play would join a server, and then their friends would join a server because they want to get in the game, and they all joined different servers, and that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good though. That's the way you work it. That's the way you play it. Who made that game? Oh shoot, that was EA. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we're almost out of time. We could probably squeeze in a Mad Lib if you guys want to try.
All right, we can do that.
Make it a small one.
I kind of picked a long one, actually.
Oh, well, let's just hustle.
Let's just pound through it. We're starting with Amy, noun.
Unicorn.
Unicorn. Lido, verb ending in ing.
Crapping.
Crapping. Jemmy, animal, plural.
Can it be a Pokemon?
Yes.
Slowpoke.
Slow pokes. Okay. Verb ending in ed.
A verb ending in ed.
Yes. Then Amy, a celebrity.
Jumped.
A what?
Jumped.
Celebrity.
Celebrity. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. I said a
J.
celebrity.
Beebs.
I said a celebrity. Restaurant.
Yeah, we said a celebrity, not a restaurant.
Yes.
Papa John's. Is that a restaurant?
I said a restaurant.
Place. Okay, how about?
I'm kidding. It's fine.
Red Lobster.
I was just gonna say that. Red Lobster. It's not really not a restaurant either.
No,
Is
it
it?
is. Yeah, it is.
Denny's.
Okay, Denny's it is. A noun.
A bottle.
Bottle. Adjective.
An adjective. Oh, this is great.
And then another noun.
Pink.
Pink. Noun.
Shoe.
Shoe. Noun plural.
Noun plural.
And then another noun.
Pants.
Pants. Next noun.
Cupcake.
Cupcake. A junk food item, plural.
A junk food item, plural.
Sure.
Chips?
Chips.
Potato chips?
Sweet food, plural.
Wow. I would have just waited. Candy canes.
Candy canes. I said sweet food. They're gross. Name of a movie.
They're sweet, though.
Name of a movie. Back to the Future.
Yes. Okay, a game?
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. A noun?
A noun. How about
A noun?
TV?
TV. And a verb ending in ed.
What did I do in the past? Snapped.
Snapped. Okay. This one's called Being Famous.
For Justin Bieber.
Clearly not a story about J. Beebs.
Today I went out of my unicorn to go crapping and was mobbed by a huge crowd of slowpokes. I jumped to get there as fast as I could. I met up with Justin Bieber and we went to eat at Denny's. I can see Justin Bieber no Denny's. We left there and went to the bottle and saw something amazing. It was a large pink shoe, and we were in awe. Next, my pants came up to me and asked for my autograph, so I gladly did. Justin Bieber and I went to my cupcake, and had a sleepover. Whoa! It's okay when it's in a three-way.
Yeah.
We ate potato chips and candy canes. We watched Back to the Future and played Assassin's Creed. Photographers tried to take pictures of us, but my TV kept them away. We have lots of fun, and we snapped all night long.
Oh, wow.
Potato chips and candy canes? Nasty.
That's a really
Inside a
good meal.
cupcake.
What a terrible snack.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have.
All
So,
right.
thank
Well,
you
that
for
was a
joining
lot of
us.
stuff we covered.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So if you have any thoughts on this, you can always let us know by visiting everythingnoob.com and hit write us. We're always encouraging you to send us your thoughts on the show. And only the show.
Or questions.
Just going to say
Yeah,
that right
questions.
now. Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
questions,
We
send
love
them.
questions, comments, feedback.
All those
Maybe we'll have a
things.
Q&A. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'd like to start adding that to the show when we have time. You know, answer some of your questions, whatever they may be, as long as they're appropriate. And yeah, we'll see you next week. And remember, you can always check out the show notes. We're always updating those too. I'm noticing a lot of people aren't looking at those, but it's hard to tell because you can go to the website and without actually ticking the show note button. So I don't know if people are using them, but they're there just to remind you.
Yeah.
Everything we talked about. So, all right, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this installment of the Everything Noob podcast. Don't miss a live recording of our podcast on twitch.tv/enoobs, recorded every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. For information on everything you heard in tonight's show, visit everythingnoob.com and check out the show notes. There you will also find all of our past episodes, host bios, our Twitter feed, and a place to even ask us questions, which we may answer during the show. See you next week, and happy gaming.